Time to clean up my music business with some gig soap.
Take me through the water.
Steve, so man, you've got a lot of things, music, but you've got a lot of life experiences too that I think are very cool. Some of them were not so cool, obviously, that you've dealt with, and you've come through a lot of this stuff on the other end. So we'll see how much time we have and how much we get into all this. But let's start real quick about what I don't know. We'll talk about how far we want to go back here. I definitely want to talk about how you got into the studio business and when you were up in Iowa, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. How did that happen?
Well, yeah. So as far as like starting an actual business, that did happen in Iowa. And dates, I'm horrible at dates, but I would guess maybe around I'd say 2013 or 2014 is when I actually opened my doors for the first time and started accepting clients. But big part of that is my wife. My wife Kelsey, who's been with me throughout this whole journey, has been a big fan and also not necessarily a mentor as far as like the recording stuff, but as far as like a person life lessons and that kind of stuff, has been a mentor. And she's a big believer that if you have a dream, there's no reason you can't chase it. And so she has pushed me along, and so that's helped out. With her encouragement, I opened my doors in 2013. Maybe 14, one of those years. It's been that long ago now, but I actually started recording before that. So I've been tinkering with recording 20 years, Chad. I mean, I'm not trying to date myself here, but yeah, long time. Started with the 4-track tape machines all the way up to my first iMac, and then into the digital world from there. So
Yeah. I mean, that's a true testament to marrying the right person.
yeah,
because they're either going to be supportive and you're going to build a dream together, or
right.
it could be completely the opposite. They could tear you down.
Sure.
And you are fortunate that you found one.
Very, very
that built you
fortunate.
up.
Yeah, I wish.
Awesome.
Yeah, I want to give her all the credit that she deserves. So
Yeah. And Kelsey is awesome. She's she's a good person.
yeah.
Definitely outpunted your coverage.
Yeah, above my station.
So you were also in Iowa. You were you still are an air traffic controller, right?
Yeah.
So you've been doing that a long time.
Yeah. I went into the Navy in December of 2000 with the goal of learning how to do that career, and got out in 2005 and I got my first contract job. I worked out in Connecticut, and then from Connecticut moved to Des Moines, Iowa for my first federal job, and then from Des Moines, Iowa to Sioux City, and Sioux City to Kansas City. So
Nice.
yeah, I am using a condenser microphone. So
Okay.
yeah.
You had the studio,
Yeah.
air traffic controller, and then at some point you made the decision that you wanted to sing and perform. How'd that happen?
Well, honestly, so I was trying to figure out how to get people to come back in to record, and Kelsey and I were talking about this one night up in Sioux City, and so we decided we're going to go out and just meet musicians. That's the way you're going to do it. You're just going to go out and network and get to know people. So I reached out on Facebook. There was this band up in Sioux City. I'm a fan of Red Dirt music. I think that's pretty well known, but I like country rock, Red Dirt. There was a band called the Red Dirty Turkeys. Found them on Facebook and messaged them, asked them where they were going to be, and they said, we're going to be at this place. So I showed up there, bought them a beer, started talking, and next thing you know, I convinced them to come back to record. And so recorded a single with them, and then made a good lifelong friend named Mitch out of that. And so then also started going to open mic nights to meet people, so singer-songwriter type, with maybe full bands weren't coming in as frequent as I wanted. So maybe I'll just start trying to figure out if I can get acoustic singer-songwriters to come in, that kind of thing. So I went out to open mic nights, and next thing you know, somebody's like, Becky, why don't you get up there? And so I did, and they heard me sing, and the next thing you know, they're like, Becky, we're going to form a band around you. So I was like, oh,
Nice.
okay, sure. So it kind of just fell into it. Just honestly, trying to get people to come back to record. That's how.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, what was it that drove you to the passion of mixing to begin with, though?
I think well, I'm my father's son, and my father's a technician. His dad
Mhm.
was an engineer, so I have that side of me. I have that inquisitive, want to figure out how things work, that kind of side to
Mhm.
me, and I love the technical side of things. And then in that same family, my aunt is a successful wildlife artist. So, and she's as far the other way as you could ever be. Like, I mean, we'd have 20-minute conversations in chipmunk voice, like just she's goofy, right? Like she's goofy, but she's a fantastic artist. So I have that in me as well. So I think it's like that struggle
Mhm.
between creative or actually not a struggle, that marriage of
Right.
creative and technical that I find fascinating in the studio. And then there's the satisfaction of creating something from nothing, kind of like anything I do, like woodworking, all the furniture in my house I built. I loved it. Like you start with a flat
Mhm.
board and an idea, and next thing you know, you have an entertainment center. So it's like I love that. So I think that's what drove me to the
Yeah.
studio. Yeah,
Does singing in the band, does that fill a different void, or is that the kind of the same thing?
absolutely. Yeah, no, singing in the band brings in the whole live element, which is the wild, wild west. Like to
Yeah.
me, like the studios is a lab. I look at that. It's like a
Right.
laboratory, right? We stop, we overanalyze, we to the death. You know what I mean? We do all that kind of stuff because we're not under the pressure. Live, it's like this happening on the fly. You do it,
Mhm.
and then it also brings in the human element. I mean, there's some of that in the studio too, but like the personal performance part of things where you have that connection with people and you see the direct connect of how your
Yeah.
music can affect them. So like I like that too. So that's pretty fun about the live
Yeah.
performances.
Well, one of the things that I've noticed, I know we've talked about this in the past, it's just a huge, cool character quality you have is you're an encourager to the extreme.
Yeah.
And you let that out on stage all the time. That like that first time that I filled in to play with you, we would we would get to this solo section and the other thing you're great to play with for guitar players is the solo sections go forever.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
And so I mean, I remember like starting to play, and then all of a sudden I hear you scream like from the other side of the stage, like, "Yeah," and then when I think I'm about to wrap it up, here you go again. You're like, yeah, and
Yep.
it's like I just run a marathon, but nope, I think you can go further. you know,
100%. I love it.
and I think that's such a valuable leadership thing that you have there for whoever you're working with, because it just makes, I remember the feeling it gave me when you did that.
Awesome. That's cool.
It was incredible.
Yeah. Thank you.
And for those that don't know, my oldest son, Micah, has played with
Yeah.
Steve forever. And so just knowing that, he's also receiving that from you
Yeah.
all the time is such a cool thing for me
That's
as a
awesome.
dad.
Yeah. No, I'm truly a fan, Chad. Like truly a fan. I'm not just I mean of your playing obviously and things like that, but of anybody that steps on that stage, I'm truly a fan
Yeah.
and I want to hear them. I want them to speak through their
Yeah.
instrument and stuff. And so I don't know if it's just intuition or whatever, but I can tell when something's been rehearsed and then it's like, okay. And then they're ready to be done with that. Like I got my spot that I rehearsed done with.
Yeah.
Nope. We're going past that. So now we get to really hear what you have to say. You know what I mean? And I'm truly a fan on stage. I love it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you bring that same thing into the studio when you're working as an engineer? Like you can tell somebody, okay, they've done the rehearse part. Let's see what.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mm,
I mean, and I tell people that all the time when I'm working with them too. Is like I put my head down and they see me put my head down and when I when I move, when I feel it, like it's not just a hear like you hear it obviously, but like when you feel it,
mm,
that's when you know you did it. Like that's when
yeah.
it's right. Because we're like this little test sample of like when you release it out into the world, right? We're the first ones to get to hear this. So if it's making us feel good, there's chances that it's going to make somebody else feel good too. So
Yeah.
that's kind of
And
what
isn't that what it's all about? I
and
mean, really,
that's I mean,
the whole thing.
I can't take credit for this, but I believe in it wholeheartedly. We're salesmen and our product is emotion. We sell
Mm,
emotion. That's exactly what we
mm.
sell. Yep. Yep.
Preach it.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. It really is. That's exactly what
Yeah.
we turn emotions into audible frequencies. Yep.
Mm.
Yeah.
That needs to be a quote.
It's not my quote though. Yeah, I don't know who it is. We'll have to find
It
out
is
who it is.
now.
Yeah, there you go.
I haven't heard anybody else say it.
You're
So
gonna get me in trouble. Be like,
it's
hey, that guy stole my quote. Yeah.
well, it's only going to be your quote for the first three times I say it. It's like I said. It's like, that's the rule, right?
Right.
After three times, you own it.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Yeah, man, it's just it's been so fantastic to watch everything develop, not only with you but with your group, and,
Yeah.
and now your studio in Kansas City. So
Yeah.
you moved from Iowa to Kansas City. Was that due? That was due to the getting the position.
Yes, a couple things.
Yeah.
So yeah, family. Moved down here for family. I'm originally from North Central Missouri, so this, as far as my job goes, is as close as I could get to home. So I wanted to be close to home for some family issues and different things like that. And then, yeah, and it was a step up in a career too, as far as like
Yeah.
a bigger airport and that kind of thing. So, yeah,
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 yeah. I mean, again, like just bragging on Steve. I mean, if you're landing
yeah.
at the MCI airport, he might be the one landing you.
Yeah.
So I'm always going to be extremely nice to you because I kind of want to land each time.
Right. Yeah. I did end up having to send the Chiefs around one time. That was funny, and then that made the news, but that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was for safety. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So a lot of things, as always in life, a lot of things happen that we grow from, a lot of things we learn from. And you have just recently been through quite a deal with your health
Yeah.
that, I mean, I've just witnessed growth even since you've gone through this. Do you care sharing a little bit about this and
Sure.
talk a little bit about it? Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, 2025. Let's just start there. This whole year has just been a rough for my family. My father, 2014, was diagnosed with head and neck cancer. It's called squamous cell carcinoma of his left tongue, and then it wrapped around his artery. So they did surgery on it, or no, they couldn't do surgery on it. They did radiation on it, and 10 years later, it came back. 2025, early 2025, Dad lost his swallow. This time it was around his vagal nerve, and in February he passed away from complications due to cancer and cancer treatments. During that time, it was rough for our family, but I had some stuff going on with my tonsil on my left side, and I was very nervous about it. So I finally convinced someone to take a look at it, and when they pulled my tonsil out of there, they found a 3.6 centimeter tumor in my left tonsil, the same type. So right now, they did surgery called TORS up at Mayo, and they took it out, and they took 30 lymph nodes on the left side of my neck, and pretty scary stuff as far as being a singer, that kind of stuff too. Like pretty scary stuff just for my own personal health and well-being. Right now though, they say they got the cancer. We didn't have to do radiation or chemo. We're just watching it. So for the first couple of years, we'll go up every 4 months. After that, 2 years, we'll go every 6 months. And then after 5 years, the chances of it recurring go back down to basically what you and I would both be at the same level there. So, yeah. So, but emotionally, it's taken its toll on me. I'd like to sit here and say that it hasn't, but like it would anybody. But I'm kind of trying to, and I mean, there's days like it's definitely a roller coaster. But as long as the way I'm looking at it, as long as the trajectory is up, then it's good. Like you'd have good days and bad days as far as emotionally and stuff like that. But yeah, as long as the trajectory's up, then you're on the right path. So it's be pretty easy to lay down and feel sorry for yourself. But I'm refusing to do that. I don't want to really let it define me either. Yes, I do, however, want to make people aware this type of cancer is very scary. And the problem with this type of cancer is that it mimics so many other types of illnesses that are basic, like things like allergies or strep throat or sore throats and colds and stuff like that. That most of the time, I'm very fortunate that it was diagnosed when it was. Most of the time that this type of cancer gets diagnosed, it's way late. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So, what are you? I mean, let's talk a little bit. I mean, I know this kind of was a trial for just your faith as well.
100%.
Um, what was that experience like?
It was um it was rough. I mean, Chad, there was a lot of time spent just down and out. But to be honest with you, it's the people around me are the ones that have pulled me out of it. Like I've gathered strength from them and their words and I mean, so many people have reached out just checking on me daily. So many people are praying for me. So many people, like, are you kidding? Like I said, I told you, and I know we're talking about upper limits and whatnot, but it's hard not to feel like not worthy of that. You know what I mean? So humbled, so
Mhm.
humbled by all of that. Like, why? Because why did you kind of wonder, like, why would anybody care about me? You know what I mean? Like, why would
Mhm.
anybody care, like, about that kind of thing? But they do, and they're genuine, and you can tell. So
Yeah.
it's kind of amazing to think about that maybe I've made an impact in their life enough that they care to do that. So to reach
Well,
out
I
to
don't
me
think
too.
it's maybe. I think it is you have made enough of an impact that they care.
Yeah,
That's what I. So you mentioned upper limit. What
yeah,
we haven't talked about that here.
yeah.
What explain what you mean by that?
That's you, man. That's you're like when I say this, like I'm talking about you. Like you've helped me out not only career wise, but also emotional and spiritual and in all kinds of different ways, Chad. Like so many times I lean on you. I lean on you and you've been right there every single time. So thank you for that. But
Yeah.
including this upper limit thing, I wouldn't even known about that until you told me about that and you sent me that book. So,
Mhm.
and I'm on my second listen through of that book, and I believe it. I'm a believer of it. So, yeah.
So if I didn't know anything about upper limits, what would you tell me it was?
If you didn't know anything about upper limits, it's basically getting out of your own way. That's if I could shorten it up into one thing, it's to get out of your own way. Like I'm a victim of that, hypercritical of my own successes, hypercritical of everything, and I've been in my own way so many times, and then allowing yourself to accept the fact of your successes and different things like that. And I'm not talking about in some kind of bragging way. I'm just saying that we're like feeling worthy of the successes that you're doing. Like what you're working for.
Mhm.
Yeah, as opposed to just beating yourself up to feel better, to feel, and it's not even better. It's just like to put yourself back in that. I've been there. I've been
Mhm.
there. I've done that so many times. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I tell you, it's cool from my perspective to see you diving into this.
Yeah.
And we don't have to, we don't have to get into this, but I know you've been diving into just taking charge of your own health as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or we can get into that. I mean, you're not just listening to what somebody's saying to you. You're saying, I'm going to figure this out. I'm
Yeah.
going to look at all the facts.
100%. Yeah.
I mean, what has that been like?
I mean, it's been a big change in and once again, there's Kelsey. Like I can't talk about this without Kelsey being right there,
Yeah.
because anybody that's ever been on any kind of like thing, it's hard to do it if not everybody that you're close to around every day is on board too. So uh, whether that be anything from quitting smoking or whatever, some kind of thing. You know what I mean? If the person in your house is still smoking and you're trying to quit smoking, like that's just not success. So
Right.
yeah, we've changed our lifestyle completely, and yeah, and she's right on board. She's diving in too. So it's been eye
Yeah.
opening, and I can't believe it's taken this long. Like I don't even know like why. Yeah, it took this, but here it is. Yeah, May
Yeah.
that 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 one little thing. Well, not little, but that thing caused it obviously to go dive into it that way. But yeah, I'm glad it did. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, you're not alone in that. I think a lot of us we need some serious event
Mm-hmm.
to cause us to make the right change
Yep.
or
Yeah.
decision and things,
Yeah.
I mean, I think of a number of those in my own life that had that thing that I felt was happening to me
Right.
at the time not happened. I would not have made whatever change was over here
Right.
that now I'm super grateful I made,
Right. Yeah, exactly. And
you know, and
it's crazy like that you have to have something like that happen to make that kind of change or to force you to push you over the edge. I wish I mean that's a self-motivation thing or I mean a self-discipline thing that I need to practice on. I'm weak there, I guess, but yeah.
yeah, we all
So,
do.
yeah. Right.
Well, we could have made better decisions before. We just didn't.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah. But
but hopefully the our kids and their kids see this and make those decisions quicker.
yeah. Yeah, like and you know me, Chad, I'm the type that dives head first in when I get decide I'm going after something, I go into it. So I
Yeah.
could feel this whole time talking about specific foods and why they're good for you and whatnot and all the technical stuff behind it. So
Yeah.
but yeah, basically eat to beat disease. That's
Mm,
that's what it's for, Like and it makes sense too, and it's most basic sense when you think about it too, because it's
yeah.
like most of our medicines come from foods or plants. So
Hmm.
why can't we just go direct to the source and cut out the middle?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, this is not like
Yeah.
this hasn't been a forever long thing you've done. I
Mm-mm.
mean, you just what 2 months ago started
Yeah.
diving into all this.
Yeah.
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 What have you noticed change so far?
Just energy, the health, taste buds are huge, like huge things, like because before I was the fast food king, snack king, all that kind of stuff, just whatever, like going to Quick Trip, come back out with a handful of freaking whatever candies or freaking rollers and all that kind of crap that you can fill your body with, and like your taste buds completely change when you start eating healthier, and so the minute that you go back to try something like that, it tastes. There's no other word other than synthetic. It just tastes synthetic. It's
Mhm.
fake. It does. I mean, you can tell that's not real. It's gross. But yeah. So the biggest change for me has been the taste buds, and you actually start to crave the different things if you listen to your body. Like you start to crave certain things, and so that
Yeah.
that's been a big change.
What's on the docket for Stephen Bankey and the Flatland Band?
Just this big career. We just keep chugging along. We got a big summer ahead. We're traveling 5 states. We're trying to expand out next year with plans to expand into Oklahoma and Texas eventually.
Yep.
Yeah, touring. We got a brand new van with a Buffalo 2. We got and everybody's on board. No burnout, none of that. So everybody's on board. Everybody's ready to go, and more records coming out. We're writing right now. We got 3 or 4 songs ready to go in the studio. And yeah, that's just more just chugging along, trying to expand our reach or whatever you want to call it, fan base, whatever. People like we don't really look at them as fans, and more like family, but just to let people know who we are and get you on, and yeah, that's what we got going on in Flatland Band.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, and everything that it seems like that everything coming out of your studio just keeps getting better and better and better.
thanks, man.
And you can tell you really love it.
I do. I love it, and I'd be a liar to sit here and say that I can take all the credit. It's the source material. Like that's what I've told people coming in all the time. It's source material is the
Input.
100%, 100%.
Yeah.
So I think people just coming in keep getting better and better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see where the studio goes in 5 years. Hopefully, get you in here, get your brother in
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
You've got some pretty cool amps, and I'm getting ready to move up pretty close to you.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah.
whole trick. Is just have cool gear, and then people will come. If you build it, they will
Right.
come. Yeah.
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 So as we wrap up, what when you talk to either a young artist or maybe somebody that's been doing it for a while but really trying to take a run at this,
Mhm.
I mean, what do you think some of the big things they need to focus on?
Well, you know, Bradley Griffin,
Mhm.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
Little Bradley. So He's
Bug.
yeah, I see
Sorry.
that. uh no, Bradley's been over here a couple times and stuff like that, and it's fun to see that passion in his eyes, like that fun to see that passion in his eyes. And so I am a big believer that that is it. That's don't ever let that leave. Don't let the you know what I mean. Don't let the business side of things or that kind of like the trying to make it kind of thing get
Mhm.
in the way of that passion. Don't lose that passion. So having fun and keeping it creative and new, I think that and people are that that's infectious. People are going to be drawn to that, you know.
Right. Yep.
And then this is not me, but this is you being open to new experiences and being ready. That's exactly it. That's basically been the motto of the Flatland band. It's like just being there and ready when the time needs, and when we need to be there, you know, that kind of thing. And so that's pushed us along, and when those opportunities came up. So those two things, and it's been fun kind of mentoring Bradley a little bit, and he's just an awesome dude too, just to be around. And you can tell
Yeah.
like he's getting better and better, and his feel's getting better. But it's not going to his head. He's not
Yeah.
getting the ego. He's still just hungry to play. He just wants to play, and that's cool. And he's doing it for not in a selfish way, but kind of like him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then everybody else is just like wants to be part of that. That's exactly it. You know.
Yeah.
So
Man, so good, buddy. Thank you. I appreciate you being on here and just all the wisdom that just poured out
thank you,
of you.
thank you.
So I'm sure it's gonna be beneficial to some people listening. So thank you
Oh,
again for that.
thanks. I just enjoy it too. We put it in our bio, but I believe it. Like if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life, right? Yeah.
Right.
So that's exactly it. I just love doing it too. So
Awesome.
yeah.
All right. Steve and Banky.
Yeah.
You've been listening to Geek Soap.